Alrighty,
Yeah.
welcome everyone. So some people are trickling in as we just opened it, but Noah and Derek, excited to have you both here today. While people are waiting in the chat, can you both tell us what is one thing that you're excited for in this new year? It's very timely.
Ooh,
Noah, we'll start with you.
okay. I've had no time to think about this. Uh,
Yes.
business wise, I gotta say partnerships. We're off to a rockin' start. Launched Justuno earlier this year already. If you can believe there was an earlier time this year, last week. And so excited to talk about that today. We've got a bunch of other really interesting integrations that we're working on. I'm not going to say who, but I was just at I was just at a Yachtpo event last week. So a little foreshadowing. And excited about a bunch of stuff we have in the works with our agency partners as well. So more to come on the new integrations, continuing to support and enhance our current integrations, and a lot of awesome things in the pipeline with our agency partners. Derek,
Wonderful.
how about you?
Nice. Well, my answer is going to be a little bit more simple than yours. It's all about adaptation in 2024. I'm really excited about adaptation because I think that not only companies like us are going to have to adapt, being software vendors or providers, but merchants and brands are going to have to adapt as well, in a challenging market. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Nice. That's awesome. Mariah, what are you excited about?
Yes, I would say all of the partner marketing stuff that we have coming up at Malomo, and then personally, just continuing to get back into swimming, which is a love that I had when I was growing up. So
Cool.
excited to do it.
Hopefully not right now in the cold.
Not, no, not outside and not right now, but in the future, yes,
Yeah, nice.
2024.
That's awesome.
Yep,
Are you swimming at the YMCA?
I am. Yes,
You won't catch me in the pool, but maybe the sauna.
maybe see you there. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, well, I think that people are going to continue to pour in as we get started. But no, if you want to start screen sharing, I'll kick us off with some housekeeping. Obviously, we are so excited to tell you all about our recently launched integration with Justuno. And so before we get started, we're going to keep it short and sweet today. So it's going to be rolling quick. If you have questions or you just want to engage in the chat, feel free to do so. And there will be an opportunity based off engagement to win a free lunch. So be sure that you're keeping that chat active. And we will, of course, be recording and sharing. So, with that, I'm going to quickly introduce both of our hosts today. Derek Booth, he is the head of sales and partnerships at Justuno. And then Noah is our head of partnerships here at Malomo. So, with that, Noah, I'm going to kick it to you, and I'll be monitoring the chat for Q&A at the end of our session.
Thank you. And monitoring for our winner of the
Yes.
very exclusive DoorDash
The
gift
more
card.
exciting part, of course. Yes.
Thanks, Mariah. Great to be here with everyone today. Really appreciate you taking some time early in the year to learn about our newest integration with Just Uno. So I'm just going to talk very briefly, give a little Malomo overview for those who are not as familiar with us. Then I'm going to pass it to Derek for most of the rest of this. So he's going to be talking about Just Uno overall, and then get more into the integration specifically. So what are the use cases that brands are already leveraging today with success? We'll kind of back up that success with some metrics from a real life brand that has already implemented the integration, believe it or not. And then he'll walk through a quick overview of the setup, which you'll see is extremely straightforward for those brands on Shopify especially. We'll wrap up, like Mariah said, with a little Q&A that she'll help us monitor throughout the presentation. So with that, I will dive into a quick Malomo overview. For our new friends out there, Malomo is the leading order tracking platform in the Shopify ecosystem. We were purpose-built for Shopify, so very familiar with the Shopify ecosystem, not just the Shopify platform itself, but all of the third-party apps like Justuno, that integrate really well with both Shopify and with our platform, just based on how we were built. And we were built for the brands who are really looking to retain and grow their existing customers. And we're really, really good at helping them do that. And I'll walk through why that is here right now. So again, for those of you who are newer, you might be asking yourself why you wouldn't just use Shopify's native order tracking. And the answer for that is that for most consumers, the order tracking experience looks something like you see on this slide. You start by browsing a new store, which is usually a really engaging experience, right? It's branded, it's beautiful, it's immersive. But once you buy, that experience completely flips. You're sent a very transactional, sort of stale email telling you your order has shipped. And that's typically the last communication you receive from a brand after your delivery, about your delivery, I'm sorry. And then when you click to track your package, you're taken to a carrier tracking page that is regularly confusing and pretty difficult to understand a lot of times. And as the consumer, when you see the experience laid out like this, it feels very jarring and kind of disjointed. It's pretty much like the brand is saying, you know, once they have your money, they don't care much, if at all, about the experience you have after that. Okay, so this is not the only metric we're measuring for the free lunch, but it will go a long way in helping you win it. So for the front running in the free lunch, let's call it, how many times are customers checking their tracking per order? Drop your answers in the chat. Closest guess, again, will jump to the front of the leaderboard for the free lunch. So put another way, when you order something online, how many times are you checking where that package is while it's on the way to you? Just give it a few seconds here. Check the chat. SJ, good guess, although I don't know if you can win this one. Taylor, Max. Yeah, Derek, good answer. Keep them coming. Just give it a couple more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So whoever Mariah is closest to 4.6 is our winner. She'll help me monitor in the background, and we'll get again that gift card out after the webinar. But 4.6 chances to engage your customers is what's at stake here. Again, these are customers who are most excited about your brand, right? They've just purchased. You got them there. You got them across the line. They're excited to get their product, and they want to know where it's at. So they're checking it regularly. Another way to put this is the order tracking page is one of the most viewed pages in all of e-commerce. So on average, what we see with our brands is that 20% of their overall web traffic is going to the order tracking page. Imagine as a brand just giving away 20% of your web traffic. And yet that's exactly what most brands are doing by using that standard Shopify out of the box post-purchase setup. But this slide kind of walks through what the retention leaders are doing instead. So they start by turning off the Shopify post-purchase emails, and they move those over to their ESP, where they have full control over branding and content. They also have more control over the notifications that are sent, giving them the ability to proactively communicate updates with their customers. I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide. Then instead of sending customers to a UPS page, for example, brands send them to a tracking page on their own site that gives them real-time status updates in a human-friendly way alongside estimated delivery dates. And then both their emails and their tracking pages become marketing assets that brands use to drive customers back to purchase, provide useful interactive content, and educate their customers on their products or their brand. Not only does this strategy allow for a better experience if everything goes to plan, but it also allows brands to proactively update customers if anything goes wrong along the way. So with Malomo's access to far more carrier updates than Shopify has access to, we can provide real-time updates every step of the way throughout the entire shipping experience. The fact of the matter is customers expect delays in today's logistics climate. What they don't appreciate is not being made aware when things do go awry. So be sure to let your customers know if there's an exception to their order. The ability to simply do this, proactively notify customers in such circumstances, can significantly reduce customer churn, and we've seen it cut our customers' CX burden in half. And then when it comes to actually building a tracking page, I'd like to just quickly show just how easy we've made it for Shopify brands to build a tracking page with just a couple of clicks. So let me start this video. I'm gonna speed it up. We'll just walk through it very quickly. Sorry about that. But we're in the Malomo dashboard right now. We're in the tracking page creator section. As soon as we go over to create a tracking page, which we're going to do here in a second, just like that, we've already created a new page in your Shopify theme. So all of the details are in there already. You did that when you signed up for Malomo. And with that click, there's a brand new page right within your Shopify theme that has connected all of your order data in Shopify with all of your shipping data via Malomo. When we go to customize the page, we're going to be taken directly to the theme builder that Shopify brands and agencies are very familiar with. Again, this is already a new page, already connected on the back end to all the details you need. From there, you're just going to drop in some brand assets. And in this example, we can add a third-party app block. So in this example, we're going to add a rebuy widget for product recommendations. Just like that, by copying in this widget ID from rebuy, we've got a branded tracking page with personalized product recommendations for every customer based on what they purchased. And we're driving that 20% of web traffic back to your site to drive LTV rather than risking churn and sending that traffic to UPS or FedEx with a confusing experience. And that's really just how easy it is. Now Derek's going to talk about Justuno and how easy it would be to add Justuno to your Malomo tracking experience as well. So DB, my man, take it away.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks, Noah.
To you. Yep.
Thanks, Noah, for all of that. What's up, everybody? So I know we're coming up on time here. We got about 17 minutes left. So I'm going to go through this very quickly and leave all formalities out of the way and just dive straight into it. Justuno, you probably heard our name before. You've probably seen us in the Shopify App Store. Maybe you're a user of Justuno already, and you probably see our name all the time, but you have zero idea of what we do. That's completely fine. Most people do. What we do is we solve a very common problem in the market, which is that visitors or merchants do not understand their website traffic. They are spending thousands of dollars to drive visitors to a website. They are investing into email marketing automation, all with the intention and goal of getting people back to the website to either make a first purchase as a new customer or to, repeat their purchase. And you would be surprised at how many brands out there really just look at the design of their website, but they don't think of other aspects of that, nor are they privy to the necessary data points to understand visitor behavior. Enter Justuno. We have a solution that ultimately enables you to build profiles and audiences of your on-site visitors to understand them, and a visitor dashboard that's very comparable to that of Google Analytics, but then enables you to engage these visitors to lead to that first conversion, which include lead capture and second purchase. And so some of those strategies that you can use with that, believe it or not, are in the form of pop-ups or things that you can build into the back end of the web page that are actually not native or hard-coded into the back end of the website that can strategically direct people around to leave more information behind or encourage them to check out. And you can do this in a very automated fashion. So we'll get into some visual examples here in a little bit, but some of you have probably been to a website before and you've seen a spin to win, for example, that is prompting you to enter in your email and your phone number for 10% to build your email list. Or some of you have probably seen that pop-up that comes up when you intend to leave the website and it says, enter in your, don't leave now. Within the next 20 seconds, we'll give you 15% off your purchase. That's essentially what we do in a nutshell, but think of this in a much more smart and strategic way. And think of this in a way that is only firing these experiences that are not going to impact have a negative impact on your user experience. So when you think of the 6 key benefits of Justuno, there's really six main reasons why a website would come to us. They are struggling to capture their leads for their email and their SMS program. They're spending a ton of money on ads and they are not getting a return on those ads. They're investing into a subscription program, but they're not getting anybody to submit and enter into that subscription program or keep people on the subscription program. They're seeing serious drop offs with their cart abandonment and their browse abandonment. They're struggling with finding out how they can increase average order value. And overall, a lot of what Noah talked about is just really increasing customer lifetime value to lead to that second purchase, which is what most brands struggle with. So, what is something that differentiates Justuno from the rest? You may use Klaviyo and you're like, well, I have a pop-up already that collects emails, or I can do these things with other cheap out-of-the-box Shopify pop-up solutions. Well, the thing that makes Justuno different is what I talked about earlier, which is being able to build advanced audiences and profiles and collect that zero party and first party data to then implement these modular experiences that are automated on the website that are enabling you to collect more information, but then also strategically set up to lead to the path of conversion for the visitor. And so with our robust integration setup here, we work with all of the major e-com platforms that are out there. We have an app on Shopify. We connect with pretty much any marketing automation platform that's out there. And you have the ability to pass data back and forth from these platforms. Now, what are some visual examples of what these types of experiences look like? I'm not going to take too much time to go through this, but a very common strategy that differentiates us from the rest out there is when you're thinking of it in terms of increasing lead capture for email and SMS. A really cool experience here is a choose your own discount adventure. This is much different than what you would get out of the box with Klaviyo, where it's just a standard enter in your email for 10% off. It allows the visitor to engage and select what kind of discount they want in exchange for them leaving their information behind. It's these types of customizations that make Justuno unique and different. And the nice thing about this is that these are templates that you can build off of and implement your own branding and your own design on. And they're really extremely easy to set up. If you want, you can obviously take the time to go through some of these other visual examples that I've included inside of here. But really, what I wanted to get to is just the fact that this thing does work and pop-ups do work. It's proven in case by the fact that in the first year, merchants are typically seeing about 135% revenue increase, about a 15% average reduction in cart and browse abandonment, and about 5x more lead captures. So now let's get to the good stuff. Now we're going to talk about Justuno and Malomo and how these two solutions can be powered together with our integration. And so to paint a picture for you, we talked a lot about post-purchase order tracking pages earlier. Justuno, with everything that I've told you about Justuno can now be embedded on that post-purchase tracking page to deliver on the measurables that you're trying to drive. And in this case, we're trying to improve lifetime value to lead to a second conversion. And we are also looking to also improve maybe the growth of our own SMS list. And so the problem that we're really addressing here is that merchants want to have this great post-purchase experience, and ultimately leveraging Justuno and Malomo together, it's going to lead to those repeat purchases, the higher AOV, and the customer lifetime value. And this is going to work well for any merchant that's on Shopify. I did want to mention that this is for Shopify users only, but any marketing automation platform that connects with Shopify, this will work for. And if you happen to be a user or a customer of Justuno already and Malomo, talk to your customer success managers and they can tell you a little bit more about it. And for those who have never really necessarily invested into maybe an on-site conversion automation platform before or a post-purchase solution, this is going to be really great for you. And so the proof is in the pudding. We're seeing about a 3.66% engaged conversion rate from the tracking page. What that basically means is that 4% of those visitors that are coming to that tracking page are leading to a second purchase, which is extremely powerful. We are also seeing about a 121.5% SMS tap and text engagement. What that basically means is that visitors that are visiting this order tracking page on mobile are leaving their phone number behind to be enrolled into a SMS flow, whether that's a welcome series or an order tracking series through the marketing automation platform. In this case, this merchant was using Klaviyo. And ultimately, you can see here that putting Justuno on the order tracking page and fusing Malomo together, you're going to lead to better list growth for you as a brand, or you're going to lead to improving that lifetime value at that second purchase. So activating the integration is actually very, very simple. Um, Noah already talked through the first part of this, which is creating and logging into your Malomo account. But I'm going to walk through a brief video here on the second part of this on how to execute this. And so once you create your Malomo account and you connect to your Shopify store and you create your order tracking page, as Noah was talking about earlier, within the app section of the Malomo app and where you're logged in, there is a page where you can redirect to Justuno to create your Justuno account. So once you do create that Justuno account and you install Justuno, Justuno will be installed. And then what you will have is basically an automatic integration that's happening between Malomo and Justuno. Okay. And that leads me to the second part, which is, okay, now that the two are integrated, how do I get these Justuno experiences on the Malomo tracking page itself? Well, all you have to do is log into your Justuno account. As you can see here, I do have a link here on where you can log in. And to mention earlier, with the Justuno app, it's super simple. You just go to the Shopify App Store with this link here. And once you click and download it in the back end of your Shopify store, it's going to be downloaded. When you get into the back end of your Justuno account, what you are going to notice is that there's a template library section on the left-hand side that you're going to click on, which is going to take you to a list of partners that we work with. In this case, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the Malomo partner page. This specific use case that we're talking through is to improve SMS subscriber growth on that order tracking page. So what you're going to do is you're going to select that template. You are then going to use the template and activate it. It is going to require you to share some information and leave some information behind. But then once you activate this template, it's going to take you to an area where you have the ability to customize this. So for this call, we're not going to go through the customizations that you can do, but you can update the design. You can update how it fires. But by default, this use case to increase SMS list growth on that post-purchase order tracking page has best practices already built into the back end of it. And what you will see here in our test example, we have a very, very basic Justuno order tracking page that we built on Malomo, as you can see here. And once you go ahead and you activate this workflow, which is done by hitting this button on the top right-hand side here, inside of after you make all the necessary edits, is you're going to have this experience that is going to fire on the tracking page. So what you'll see is that in the back end or in the background, that's going to be Malomo. This is going to be the Justuno experience. But like I had mentioned earlier, this is fully customizable. We can embed it into the back of the web page. We can change some of the colors, some of the design. And those are things that you can work on with your customer success strategist, or you can talk to one of your support specialists if you're on a plan that does not have a customer success strategist. One other thing to point out as well that's very specific to this and unique to this is if you are a user of Justuno, you may notice that the backend infrastructure of that looks a little bit different than maybe the current version of Justuno that you're in. That is because this is the new version of Justuno. So if you are not on the new version of Justuno and you are a Justuno user, just speak to our customer success team, or you can talk to somebody in support and they can help get you set up. With that being said, I think I did good on time. I think we have 6 minutes left. So does anybody have any questions?
That was
Wonderful
awesome,
time.
Eric. You crushed that. A lot to go through, and I definitely went way over my allotted time. So I
All
apologize.
good. All good.
You crushed it, man. Great job. I love how easy and simple it is to integrate these two solutions. I think about it like, if you're already using both, it's obviously a no-brainer because it's just a couple of clicks. But for brands even not already using both, you can get so much more out of each platform by adopting the other and integrating them. So really that like 1+1 = 3 situation that Derek and I love so much being in partnerships. Um,
Exactly.
Mariah,
That's
did you get any questions?
Yes, so I got some sent to me directly, and if anyone else has any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll monitor those. So we have a front runner for our DoorDash lunch on us, but would love to see some engagement and questions. But here is our first one, and Noah, it's directed towards you. What other integrations does Malomo have? We use Loop for returns. Does your platform integrate with that? So around the integration question, Noah, if you can
Yeah.
speak to that integration real quick, that would be great.
Yeah. Just generally speaking, as long as an app that you're using integrates with Shopify, it can also live within our order tracking experience. The tracking page builder that I walked through, as you saw, was natively built within the Shopify theme. So anything that you're leveraging across your store on your Shopify theme could also be leveraged on the Maloma tracking page, meaning there's really no limitation to that Shopify apps that we're able to leverage and sort of integrate with in that sort of capacity. Regarding Loop, absolutely, we do have a Loop integration. Super exciting. It basically extends everything that I walked through to returns and exchanges as well. So right from the tracking page or the order delivered email, you can initiate a return or exchange, and then we'll send real-time updates about that return or exchange via email and SMS and on the tracking page, just like we would a normal order. Great question. We haven't seen integration adoption for any other integration like we've seen with Loop. So it's super popular. Merchants are loving it. We'd love to help you get that set up if it's of interest.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next question is for each of you, but Derek, we'll start with you. Can you
Sure.
walk through real quick the pricing of the Justuno platform, please?
Yeah, so pricing is very simple. It's based off of profile visitors that are coming to your website. So on the lower end, you're going to be starting around $29 if you're a website that's maybe just starting out and maybe you only have about 5,000 hits to your website. And it's going to go up from there based off of just how large your website is. So it's a very, very simple pricing model. And then there's there's basically three different plans. There's a fully managed option. There's an option where you have a strategic advisor and additional features, including our product recommendations, which are not included on our light or our entry level plan. And then we have our light plan, which just limits you to three experiences. So that Malomo order tracking page use case that I talked about would be counted as an experience. And on our entry level plan, you get three of those experiences. Hopefully that makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you. And then Noah, can you just tap on pricing for Malomo and then I'll wrap us on up here?
Yeah, super straightforward. We basically charge on a per order per month basis. Our lowest plan starts at under $200 a month. And then from there scales, kind of get economies of scale for the brands who are doing more and more shipments. But very, very standard per order per month fee. It's a couple cents to a few cents, just depending on how much volume you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alrighty, with a minute left, we will announce our winner. So thank you all before we do that for joining. It has been great. Like we said, the time will fly by, but I think there's a lot of value jam-packed in here. So I'll be sure to get the recording out as soon as possible. Thank you, Noah and Derek, for sharing your insight and taking the time to be here. And to all our attendees, thank you to you
Wonderful.
as well. Our winner for today is Taylor Ford. So thank you for the engagement, everyone. Congrats to you. I'll be in touch with details around your lunch on us. But congratulations and thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know.
Hey, Mariah, one other thing that I did want to mention to everybody here is just understanding testing and implementation. So we do have a trial. I just wanted to mention that to everybody. So what we talked about today, there's a free trial for you to be able to execute what we just talked about today.
Very good.
Wonderful. Love it. Be sure to
Cool.
follow up with that as
Yeah.
well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
all. Bye
Appreciate you.
bye.
Talk soon.